welcome to this week's episode of Gaming News Weekly, your weekly news show every Friday at 5 p.m. with, as always, your hosts, me, I am Rich, and my good friend, Tabs.
Hello. Greetings, BArcadians.
As usual, we've got 3 stories to get into. I'm not sure whether they were juicy stories this week, but we'll get more into that certainly shortly. And a little bit of everything else, but we're going to start, as we always do, talking about what we've been playing this week. So, Tabs, without further ado, what have you been playing this week?
As ever, mate, I feel like a gaming fraud this week because I've not been playing a great deal. Played a bit more PES, enjoying that, and we'll come into the first topic of this week's news, which is relevant to that. What else? I don't think I've played anything else, mate.
Well, a little bit of Rocket League Sunday.
Oh, yes, that's true. A little bit of Rocket League. I'm toying with the idea of picking up the Switch and maybe seeing if I can get some quick experiences. I don't know when. Mario Golf's coming out. That might be a really good pick up and play game to weave into the busy renovation work I've got to do on the property. And then also, friend of the channel Bob mentioned maybe look at getting Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 on the Switch when that comes out.
Yeah, that's a good shout. Although you've got that on the PlayStation, you've not played it.
I know. And it's obviously probably a better experience on the PS, but
yeah,
we shall have to see.
I would say it looks like it's got downgrades on the Switch from the trailer.
Oh, it's got to be 30 frames per second, hasn't it? And what, about 540p? No, maybe 700p or something. But what about you, mate? What have you been? I do know. We've got. Yeah. Oh, yes, BArcadians. Let Rich tell all.
As just mentioned, bit of Rocket League on Sunday, and then on Tuesday I bought and downloaded Lego Builder's Journey. I think it's called Builder's Journey, and basically completed that whole entire game in like 2 nights. Just such a good fun game to play. Peaceful, puzzling. Such a lovely style to it. I don't think it's a game for everyone, but certainly it's just everything I look for in a game. Bit of puzzling, quite chilled, quite slow paced. Just really, really enjoyed playing it. Got stuck actually. Got stuck one evening, or the first evening on it, and then picked it up the next morning as soon as I got up because I was racking my brains. I couldn't work out how to do this particular puzzle. Had to put it down again, went to work, came back. As soon as I got back from work, picked it up again, and I was like, I can't do this. What is going on? But I managed to figure it, and it was something obvious, of course. But yeah, I've really enjoyed playing that. And if you haven't played it, and it's something I've played on the Switch, it's just come to Switch on PC. If you haven't played it and it's something you enjoy doing, puzzling and that kind of thing, then definitely it's real good fun. So I recommend it.
Sum it up in a nutshell, mate. Like, if you had to compare it, I'm thinking it reminded me a little bit of Monument Valley, like that mobile game, crossed with. It's got that kind of Lego building element, hasn't it? So it's certainly a puzzler, more of like an isometric viewpoint. Very pretty looking. Anything else? Any other comparisons?
Yeah. So in essence, what you have like a small like isometric puzzle terrain, and you have to, in essence, navigate from one side to the other, and it might be through placing blocks down, it might be through there's various like mechanisms that are in the world that maybe you've got to manipulate, and it's just like I don't know how I would describe it, but yeah, lots of puzzling, like how do you do this, how do you get around this, and yeah, there's some elements in there when you're flipping between one puzzle from the next, and if you do something like wrong on one puzzle, it flips you back to the other puzzle, and you have to work out what you have to do to move through both of them. So yeah, just such a good fun game to play, and it obviously hooked me into to have completed it in like 2 nights. So
gets Rich's vote. So on to the news, my friend. Kicks off.
Absolutely.
Kick us off, literally. Segway.
Love it. So we're going to start with PES, Pro Evolution Soccer 2022 Shadow Drop. How unusual. And this bit comes from IGN. Konami has surprise released an online performance test demo for the game that will presumably become PES 2022. For now, is officially referred to as New Football Game. Available on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One and PS4 with crossplay between console generations. The demo will be available until July the 8th. Detailed on an official frequently asked questions, Konami makes clear that this is preliminarily a test for the game's matchmaking and servers, and the gameplay and visuals remain unfinished. IGN understands that this demo has been created in Unreal Engine, and we know that because the Unreal Engine is actually on the box art, which PES will switch to for the first time this year. But Konami says that the gameplay mechanics, balancing, animation and graphics are all under development and will be improved before the official launch. IGN also understands that in development versions of the game have already been improved beyond the state of the demo. So basically, we all get a chance to play this new Pro Evo basically before it comes out. I guess we're expecting this to come out sort of October, November. That would be my guess. That's sort of a general normal release window for football games. So we get to have a go on this before it comes out. Now, the plan was, me and Tabs were going to convene slightly before we filmed the news and have a blast on this, even if it was one of us watching the other, and just see what we thought. Unfortunately, Tabs, you couldn't find the demo on the store.
No, I looked on UK store, what's it today, 24th of June, Rich, and I couldn't find it. So whether it's been worldwide released yet or if it's just in an obscure corner of the PS store, I don't know. But I did look at a little bit of footage on YouTube, and it looks rough, as they say. It's demo form, it's unfinished. But it looks like there's a lot of potential there. It looks a bit more, I would say, fluid. There's more animations, it felt like, than in current, PES 2021. We know they took that break last season, where FIFA didn't, to just say, listen, we'll keep updating 2020, turned that into the 2021 season update. We really want to work on a next-gen version. So my hopes are high that they're going to take a good step forward with PES 2022. And I think it's a good thing, especially for cross-platform play, that they're using the Unreal Engine. Because we know that scales well, and specifically I've got Switch in mind. I'd love to see a PES game on the Switch. I don't think it's happened yet. So that would be fantastic if they can scale a version of PES 2022 on the Switch. Awesome. Master League, Rich, 4-player online.
Oh, nice. I love it. But now, do you think it's using Unreal Engine 5? I'm not sure on that one. Obviously, the Unreal Engine 5 is very new, and obviously the fact that this is cross-platform, so it's going to be on the Xbox One and PS4, that sort of suggests to me that this is not using the latest Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah, I'd guess 4 as well.
Yeah, agreed.
I don't know, but I think even Unreal Engine 5 is very scalable and will come to a lot of consoles. But I would have thought when they started development, I don't think 5 would have been available at that point, so I'd guess 4.
Cool. I mean, it's exciting, and I think, I've sent you a thing today about the Unreal Engine, the newest Unreal Engine, about the physics that are in there, and you just think implementing those kind of world, like engine physics within a football game, the sky's the limit on how good this could be. It really is for me.
Yeah, definitely the new tech. You look at all the geometry they can achieve with Unreal Engine 5. I mean, that could be applied to stadiums and crowds to make it look almost photorealistic.
Yeah, ball physics.
You've got to think of the physics and layering all those animations just to get it looking even more realistic than ever. We could see some amazing stuff. So give it a go, BArcadians, if you can find it, or if it's released by the time this video drops on Friday the 25th, and let us know what you think.
Cool. Do you want to take us into the next? Well, this story bummed me out this week, and I told you about that, didn't I, Tabs? For multiple reasons, but do you want to take us into this, Tabs? Tell us all about it.
Yeah, prepare yourself, BArcadians, for a emerging frown appear on Rich's face as we dive into this story. So, title is Kojima fans left abandoned. Again, one of my better puns. So basically, if you want a full rundown, I'm sure if you're into games, like following the games industry, you'll know all about this. But there's a rundown of the Blue Box conspiracy on subreddit, if you really want to dig into all the details. And the gist of it is we're following this story whereby a game called Abandoned was shown, was it earlier in the year, Rich?
Yes, I think it was early April, 7th of April, something like that.
Yeah, and because of some kind of mysterious events or surroundings to the game, people have slowly started to put together this conspiracy that it's actually Hideo Kojima who's behind the game. It's actually going to be Silent Hill, turn out to be Silent Hill. And there's, all sorts of smoke screens and illusions have been used to hide that fact. This story basically suggests that it's looking less and less likely by the day. But anyway, comes courtesy of Push Square. This is what they had to say. After yesterday's revelation, where Blue Box Game Studios lead Hassan Karaman proved he really does exist on camera, one of the game's reportedly many outsourcing studios now also wants to confirm it is indeed a real thing. The official Twitter account for the title has shared a new video featuring the head of Noir Studio, I think you pronounce it, an outsourcing team that primarily creates art for some of the industry's biggest games. The video says, recently, Hassan asked us to film a short introduction video about Noir to explain about our role and how we are involved in the project. We are all real people with names that are working hard to bring you the best possible experience, so here we are. Let's jump in. Noir is a company of more than 70 gaming industry professionals working on different AAA titles as well as great companies, a part of which you can find out on our website. And our goal as a company is to create the best possible art assets for our partners. And Push Square note that just taking a quick glance at the company's website reveals many huge titles Noir Studios provided art assets for. In terms of PlayStation titles, it includes The Last of Us Part 2, Ghosts of Tsushima, Death Stranding, Marvel Spider-Man, and Days Gone.
Just repeat that third one again, Tabs.
Death Stranding.
Yeah, just on again. Death Stranding, did you say? Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Rich is desperate for this conspiracy to be true. To be honest, I'm all in as well. I'd love it to be one of Kojima's many mind Fs that he likes to perform on us.
So the problem,
yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
The problem I've got is, so firstly, I want this to be a thing. We know PT was amazing. We know it was incredible for its atmosphere. And we know Kojima is brilliant at making those kind of games that, stir you up a little bit. It's brilliant. And I want to see him make that game. And I want him to see him be ultimately very successful in doing that, because I think he's brilliant as a games creator and, a games author, whatever you want to say that he is. Which I think this would be amazing, but there's so many coincidences in this that I find it hard to get my head around the fact that this isn't a thing. The coincidences here are insane. Like in the trailer, P and T are covered by a tree in the trailer. Well, someone's done that by coincidence. The fact that this Hassan Karaman, if you translate from Japanese to Turkish, actually is Hideo in Japanese. There's so many things to this, and I'm like, I want this to be a thing so badly. Also, I just think it would be such a good news story as well. And the buzz that's been around this, even if this isn't a thing, hopefully if this isn't a thing and this is not happening, Sony have seen the buzz from this and gone, right, we need to jump on this. We need to do something. We need to grease the wheels and make this happen.
And being the realist, mate, I just think we've seen so many now. Perhaps 2 or 3 nails in the coffin over the past few days. Jason Schreier interview with Hassan, key YouTube influencers coming out and saying they're hearing, things to suggest that actually turns out these people are real, these developers, and it isn't going to be the next Silent Hill, and it isn't Kojima behind it. We've got this app, which has been delayed until tomorrow, or the same day this video goes live in your world, BArcadians, which should tell us more, shouldn't it? About is there going to be a trailer on there, some sort of reveal? I think we've heard, Rich. That was another thing that was weird though, because we've never heard of this before. Creating an app to reveal a game, that seemed like such a high production value sort of move.
This is it. This is supposed to be a small independent developer, but they're going to 4K 60 frames for the game. That's what they're saying. And they've created an app which you'll be able to download, and in real time you're going to be able to witness some sort of trailer that's going to reveal the game properly. And you just think, how has an independent developer got the resources to do these things? It just doesn't happen.
Well, they're outsourcing a AAA kind of team as well, aren't they? They've just said they've worked on some of the PlayStation's biggest titles. You have to, if it's not Kojima, mate, and it's not something that's going to be grand revealed tomorrow, or today in your world, BArcadians, you'd have to say they must have delivered one hell of a pitch to PlayStation.
Yeah, because basically PlayStation have gone, yeah, we like that.
Throw money at it.
Here's enough resources to be able to make the game and outsource lots of that, but also to get people with like technical know-how and resources to be able to make an app and do all these crazy things. And you think, they've thrown so much money at this, it's insane. Let's just hope that this, lives up to the hype in terms of whatever it ends up being. We think it's some sort of survival horror, although, to be honest, we know almost very little about this, what it is at all.
Could it be a halfway house, mate? Could it be that it is the next iteration of Silent Hill, and Sony did borrow the IP, or maybe even bought it from Konami and outsourced it to a new upcoming dev team with support from their background teams, and it's just that Kojima isn't involved? Could it be some sort of halfway house between
absolutely
what we want it to be and what the reality of it is? That would still be a result for me. It's still a Silent Hill game. I'd be happy with that.
Agreed.
Although not ideal for you because it's first person, isn't it? It seems.
Yeah, I mean, I'm super excited about this scenario and whether it's Kojima and what game it is, but I won't play this game because it's first person. So I'm sort of like super excited, but for no reason. Yeah, it's a bit weird. But yeah, I can't wait to see this unravel tomorrow, whether it's just, an amazing like thing that these people have done and they're incredible, whether we're going to have this grand reveal and it is Kojima and Silent Hill, or a halfway house, or nothing of the sort, or who knows. I mean, never has it ever been truer than we are chasing the shadows in the games industry.
Love it, mate. Love it. And let me move us on to our final story this week. Speaking of chasing shadows, that's an attempt to segue because this one's all about Sonic. And of course, there is Shadow the Hedgehog, isn't he a character in the Sonic series?
Okay,
I've had to explain the segue, which means it was a failure. But anyway, the headline reads, Sonic comes to Minecraft. So this was courtesy of PC Gamer, and this is what they had to say. Sonic's next big game might not be due until 2022, but to tide you over until then, the blue blur is tearing a patch across Minecraft in a 30th anniversary DLC for Mojang's blocky sandbox. Now, this isn't Minecraft's first crossover, but Sonic may be one of the most ambitious. Where most of these packs include a themed world, Mojang has really tried to make an honest-to-hedgehog Sonic game, crafting what sounds like a system to procedurally generate 3D Sonic maps, loop-de-loops and all. There are ring and power-ups to collect, speed boosts and bounce maps to fling you around the map, enemies to stomp on, and multiple biomes ranging from chemical plants to the series' iconic checkerboard hills, which admittedly work extremely well with Minecraft's blocky look. So yeah, I've seen a trailer. It does look really cool, Rich. I sent it straight over to my nephew, who's a big Minecraft fan. Yeah, I mean, it looks to have that sense of speed. You can seemingly swap from like a two-dimensional kind of viewpoint, or like the Sonic Adventure style, almost like a linear ride, as if you play over his shoulder. So I love the idea that, we can create these new Sonic games. There's been loads of, I think, sort of hobbyist developers who have created, homages to Sonic, some really big scale projects as well, actually, that I've followed over the years. So now they've literally got a sandbox, a toolkit to keep that hobby going. And I really want to see what my nephew could create if he decides to go for it. But what do you make of it, mate?
I mean, it sounds awesome, doesn't it? It seems like the way it's done and the way it looks, it seems like a perfect matchup, or like a really like clever idea. And I love the idea of procedurally generated maps. That's awesome. That's like proper tech right there. So yeah, I think there's a lot to be excited about here, and gives another like string to the bow of Minecraft. Keeps it fresh for people who've got it. I'm sure your nephew's really excited about it. So yeah, I think it's good. It's cool. Tie-ups are good.
This is it, and they're all keen, aren't they, these days, on making platforms for gamers to create their own content, their own games. That's bang on trend, and this seems fitting to that. Could we one day see like a Mario Maker crossover into Minecraft?
Would be cool. I like that.
I know they brought some kind of assets from Mario into the Minecraft world, but I don't think they went quite to this extent where Yeah. Anyway, enough banging on Barcadians. Rich, should we quick fire everything else and
Absolutely.
call a close?
I'll get us fired. Not a lot in everything else this week. It's a fairly quiet news week, really. So I'll start off. Halo Master Chief Collection could get up to 60-player battle, teases the developer.
Wow, that'll be madness.
Insane.
Bethesda's Pete Hines wants another Wolfenstein, but stresses Machine Games is focused on Indiana Jones.
Cool. And finally, George R.R. Martin finished his work on Elden Ring years ago, which is very interesting.
If only he could finish his work on Game of Thrones, eh?
I like it. And that's it. That's everything we've got this week. So I would say a little bit of a slow week in terms of news. Possibly some crazy news has gone off today. Possibly some less crazy news. Depends which way that one sits. But we hope you've enjoyed today's show. If you have and you're new here and would like to join us, do subscribe today and join us. And obviously, as always, please feed the algorithms by giving this a like. And I think that's all we've got time for this week. Another one for the archive.
Stamped and completed.